Morning. So we are now on the second quarter of our home economics. So today we're going to discuss about the nail care services. For our first lesson, here are our objectives. So first one, we have to identify the different types of tools, materials, and equipment in the nail care services and their uses. So what are the different materials that we use in nail care services? Our second objective is to prepare these tools and materials and equipment in the nail care services. And the last objective for today is to appreciate the importance of tools, materials, and equipment in nail care services and their uses. So ano nga ba ang importansya ng mga tools, equipment, and materials na ito? Okay? So to start, okay, we're going to talk about tools, materials, and equipment. So three things. Okay. So but before we start, I would like to give you some direction. Okay. So what I want you to do while I'm discussing this is to take your guess. So what are the names of these tools, materials, and equipment that I am showing to you and giving you the uses? Okay. So are you ready? Let us start. The first one is, what are tools? Okay. So tools are the articles used in any nail care services, which are durable or permanent. These are also handheld tools and also referred to as implements. So when we talk about tools, the keyword is handheld. We can hold it, okay? And these are durable and permanent as well. So you can see the word implements. Okay, so when you hear or read the words implement, the word implement, it talks about the tools. Okay, so let's start with discussing the different tools that we have in nail care services. The first one is this one. Okay, it is a tool designed to strip off calluses and corns. Okay, so what do you think is this tool? This is what we call a callus remover. Okay, so this one is designed to strip off calluses and corns. So when we say calluses, ito yung mga kalyo that we have in our feet. Okay, so the next tool is this one. Okay, it is a tool used to push back and loosen the cuticles. Okay, so when we say cuticles, these are the dead skin that we have on our nails. Okay, so what is this thing? This is a cuticle nail pusher. Okay. Third, we have this tool. It is an implement used to cut the cuticles. And this one, we call it Cuticle Nipper. Okay, so this Cuticle Nipper, usually we have this at our home, no? Kasama ng ating mga pang nail care talaga, kasama ng nail cutter that we have, or nipper. Yan. So, the next one is this one. Okay, it is an implement to cut stubborn cuticles. So as you can see, the difference of this dun sa nipper is the pointed edge of this one. So we call this one a cuticle scissors. Okay, cuticle scissors. Next, we have this. It is a small bowl used for soaking the fingers to soften the cuticles. So usually, binabasa talaga natin yung daliri natin para lumambot, no, yung mga kuko natin, and so that we can easily remove yung mga dead skin. Okay, so what do we call this one? We call it finger or manicure bowl. Okay, so lan, sakto yung limang daliri natin. The next tool is this one. Okay, it's like the Callus Remover, but it is made of metal or sandpaper with a rough file on one side to remove calluses, then this one, and a fine file on the other to smoothen the feet. Okay, so there are two sides of this tool. So what do we call this tool? This one, we call it foot file. Okay, so we use that on our foot. Next, we have this one. Okay, it is a large rectangular container used for bathing and soaking the feet when giving a pedicure. And so dyan natin binababad yung mga paa natin when we're going to have pedicure. And this one, we call it Bootspa basin. Yan, basin. Okay, so we call it Bootspa basin because we use that for Bootspa. Yan. The next one is this one. Okay, it is a flat container where all the necessary tools and implements are placed for use by the manicurist. Okay, so this one. So we call it manicure tray. Okay, so it's a tray for the items of the manicurist. Next, we have this brush. Okay, it is a plastic handheld brush with nylon bristle. This one is the nylon bristle. It is used to clean dirt and cosmetic residue from the nail surface and skin. Okay, we call this one a manicure nail brush. Okay, so we use that for manicure. Okay, for our fingers in the hand. Okay, next, how about this one? It is a small open top rounded cup like container. So we're talking about a container. It is used for mixing the aromatic oils and other fluids for the hand or foot spa. Okay, so it's either for hand spa or foot spa. This one we call it mixing bowl. Okay, we call it mixing bowl because we put the oil and other fluids on that bowl. Okay, we mix. Next, we have this one. It is an implement used for smoothing and polishing the nails. Yan. So para daw kumita ang ating mga kuko. And this one we call it nail buffer. Okay, don't forget it, nail buffer. Next, so this one you are already familiar with this one. Okay, I believe lahat tayo meron nito sa bahay. It is a hand tool made of metal used to trim fingernails and toenails. So when we say fingernails, yung mga nails natin sa ating mga kamay. If it's toenails, sa ating mga paa. We call it, obviously, nail cutter. Okay, very good tayo dyan. Next, we have this one. It is an implement used to shape the free edges, mga dulo ng ating kuko, with the coarse side and bevel the nail with the finer side. And we call this one a nail file. So kanina we have the foot file. Now we have this nail file. Next, we have this stick. It is an implement with pointed and rounded ends. This one is the pointed. This one is the rounded. It is used to end or to remove excess polish. Okay, to remove excess polish. We call it orange wood stick. Okay, orange wood stick. Next, we have this one. It is a brush also. It is a tool used to remove cosmetic and cleanse our nail. So we call it pedicure nail brush because we use it on our foot or feet. Okay, so the other one is manicure nail brush for our hand. Okay, very good. Next, it is a small receptacle where cotton balls are put. This one. Okay, we call it plastic container for cotton because we use cotton in nail care services. And the next one is this one. Okay, it is a type of volcanic rock. Okay, so it is a rock with the frothy lava solidified to form a porous rock to remove dry and annoying skin of the feet as well as the calluses. Okay, so we use this to remove dry skin on our feet. We call this one a pumice stone. Okay, pumice stone. Next, and this is the example. It's a flat container that holds the necessary cosmetic and implements. Those cosmetics that we use in nail care services and all the other tools. This one we call it supply tray. Okay, because we put all the supplies that we use in nail care services. Next, we have this wheel cart that is pushed by hand and used for transporting manicuring and pedicuring tools and materials. Okay, so it has a wheel like this one. We call this a trolley. Okay, it's a trolley. Next. Okay, now we're going to talk about materials in nail care services. So after the tools, we have these materials, right? So materials are the cosmetic and supplies that are consumed and should be replaced from time to time. They are also called consumables. So from here, you can see the difference. Anong difference ni tools sa materials? Materials is consumables. So ibig sabihin po nito, nauubos siya or napapalitan or kailangan palitan from time to time. Okay, so what are the examples of the materials that we have in nail care services? Okay, the first one is this one. Okay, so it's really familiar to you. It is an organic compound used as sanitizer. So every one of us should have this one because of the pandemic that we have. We call it, obviously, alcohol. Okay, the next material that we have is an agent that reduces or prevent the multiplication of microorganisms. Okay, so we use that to prevent, okay, para pigilan yung pagdami ng mga microorganisms. Okay, we called it antiseptic solution. Okay, so these are the example of antiseptic solution. Next, we have, this is an outer protective garment that covers primarily the front of the body to protect the our clothes, no, from dirt or stain. And I believe you already know this one. This black one is, we call this an apron. Okay, so don't just use it on nail care services, but also we use it in baking and cooking. Next, we have this different colored lacquer applied on fingernails and toenails. So the purpose of this is to decorate and protect our nail plate, our nails. Okay, some of us call this Cutix. Okay, but Cutix is a brand. We call it nail polish. Since it is on different color, we call it assorted colored nail polish. So it's a nail polish. Next, we have this clear layer of polish applied to the nail plate before the application of colored polish to smoothen the surface for color and promote healthier nails. Okay, so kagaya ng sabi dyan, nilalagay ito bago ilagay yung mga iba-ibang kulay or yung may kulay na nail polish. This one, we call it a base coat. Okay, so the keyword is before the application. Bago natin i-apply yung mga nail polish natin na may kulay, lagyan muna natin ng base coat para smooth siyang lagyan at protektado din ang ating mga kuko. Next, we have this example, no? It is a yellow-white powder prepared in an aqueous solution used as surface disinfectant and topical antiseptic. Okay, we call this one benzalkonium chloride. Okay, this white or yellow-white, this is the benzalkonium chloride and this is the solution already. Okay, because you can buy this one na solution na siya, hindi nyo na kailangan itimula. Next, we have this bleaching soap. Ayan, nakalagay na yung name. It is a soap formulated to whiten the skin. So if you want your skin to be white, you can use bleaching soap. The next one is a thin plastic film used for sealing the paraffin during a hand spa. Yan. So when you have a hand spa, kino-cover yan itong plastic na to. And this plastic, we call it a cling wrap. Cling wrap. Okay? Next, the soft downy fiber for dabbing or cleaning the nail and removing nail polish. So you are familiar with this one, we call it cotton. And this one is cotton. Next, it is a mixture of fats and waxes containing lanolin and petroleum base to soften and lubricate the skin around the nail. Na nilalagay yan dito sa mga gilid ng ating kuko. Okay, para daw lumambot. Ayan, saka mabasa siya. So we call it cuticle oil. So it's an oil. The next material is a liquid used to soften the nail cuticles and prepare them to be cut. Okay, we call it Cuticle Remover. Okay, so it is used to soften para lumambot din ang ating mga dry and dead skin nails. Okay, so this one, the example is the blue one. The liquid one, it is an agent such as heat, radiation, or chemical that destroys, neutralize, or prevent the growth of disease-carrying microorganisms. And we call it disinfectant. And so disinfectant po yung tawag. So different thing. It could be the liquid one. It could be the heat from heat. This one. Yan, pwede siya. Next is a wooden sandpaper-like stick with a fine texture on one side and a coarse texture on the other side. It is used to gently grind down edges of the nails. Okay, we call this an emery board. Yan, emery board. Next one, we're done with this topic from household services, is a collection of supplies for use in giving first aid. Okay, so we call it first aid kit. We always have this first aid kit in every job that we have. Next, it is a liquid spray that contains peppermint and alpha hydroxy acid derived from fruits that whisk away dead skin cells. Tatanggal siya ng dead skin cell. Deodorizes, nagtatanggal ng hindi magandang amoy, and soften the feet, giving it a pinkish glow after use. So since pinkish glow siya, we call it foot blush. Yan. Yan yung nagpapapink sa ating mga paa after the Bootspa, foot blush. Next is an herbal blend to relax and energize, soothe, and deodorize the feet. Okay, we call it foot soak. So foot soak because binababad po natin ang ating mga paa dito. Okay, with a mixture of this mga herbal products. Kaya yung mga dahon-dahon or mga bulaklak. Next one is a mixture of natural ingredients to keep the feet soft, smooth, and moisturized. So it's like a salt. Ayan, may bitak-bitak. Binababa din ang paa dyan. We call this one a foot scrub. Ayan, nandito na yung foot scrub po. The next one, I believe you are familiar with this, a plastic disposable bag or trash receptacle used to contain rubbish to keep the place clean. So it's either a garbage bin, yung lalagyanan talaga, or garbage bag, yung plastic. The next one is this one. Okay, it's an absorbent cloth for drying the hands. Okay, please take note, drying the hands. So that is why we call it hand towel, because we have different towels that we use in nail care services. Later you will see that. The next one is this one. Okay, it's any various cosmetic preparation that are applied to soften the skin. It's not just Vaseline, we have different kind of lotion. Okay, so what is the purpose of that? To soften our skin. So for example, our arms, which is also part of our hand, and sa nails din natin nakaka-affect. Next one is this one, the pink one. It is a hand cushion that helps a client to keep her hands steady and relaxed para hindi nangangala yung client natin sa nail care. We call this one a manicure pillow. So, pinapatungan ng kamay ng ating mga kliyente. Next is a liquid applied to the nails to form a protective barrier to prevent chipping, peeling, and splitting of nails para hindi masira yung mga kuko. Anong tawag po natin dyan? Nail hardener. Okay, so pinapatibay nito ang ating mga kuko. So we have these different kinds of nail hardener. Next one is an organic solvent used to dissolve old polish on nails para matanggal na yung mga lumang nail polish na nailagay natin sa ating mga kuko. We have to use this nail polish remover para mabilis siyang matanggal. Okay, so papalitan mo na, for example, from red, so mo gawin na ibang kulay, so you have to use nail polish remover. The next one is a liquid applied to colored nail polish to dry faster. So kung na nagmamadali ka and you want your nail polish to dry faster, you have to use these materials. Okay, we call it quick dry. And so from the word itself, quick dry. The next one is a substance used to thin out the nail polish when it has thickened. Kapag medyo kumapal na yung nail polish, either on the bottle or sa ating mga kuko, you can use what we call a solvent para mabilis siyang matanggal. Next, okay, so this is the material. It is a soft material where toes are inserted to keep them apart to prevent freshly painted toenail from staining one another. Para hindi matapunan ng mga nail polish na nilalagay natin sa kuko. We have to use this one. Okay, we just use this one on our toes kasi yung mga daliri naman sa kamay kayang humiwalay. Okay, so we call this material toenail separator. Yan, sa paa lang talaga siya ginagamit. Next is a clear nail polish applied to the nails after the colored polish to protect it from scratches and chips. It makes the nails harder and keep them looking shiny. Okay, so this one is after, so it's a clear nail polish as well. Okay, but we call this one a top coat. Okay, after the colored nail polish. The first one is the base, clear. So base coat ang tawag doon. Tapos we put nail polish, colored. So it will be up to you. As after the colored nail polish, you put clear nail polish again, which will be that top coat, that colored nail polish. Next, it is an absorbent cloth for drying the hands and feet. Okay, so this one we call it towel because we use that for both hands and feet. The next one is a substance for preparation for killing germs. Okay, so we call it wet sanitizer. Okay, now we're going to discuss about the equipment. So these are the items which are durable and permanent, needed for a particular activity or purpose. Okay, depende kung saan siya ginagamit. Okay, so let's have this different equipment. The first one is this one, kulay blue. So different shape din yan, different design. Okay, these are seats with back support, may sandalan, which have 4 legs and some have rest for the arm. Kagaya nito, yan, arm rest na tinatawag. So this one we call it chairs, simply chairs. Okay? Diba yan? Depende sa klase ng salon na napuntahan. Okay? Next is an electronic gadget used for soaking, bathing, and massaging the feet during a spa. Okay? This is the example. Okay? We call it Bootspa machine. Okay? Because we use it for Bootspa. Next. Okay, next one is a simple seat with 3 or 4 legs designed to provide comfort and elevation during a Bootspa. Okay, hindi siya inuupuan ng mga manicurista. Okay? Pinapatungan siya ng paa ng mga kliyente. Okay? We call it Bootspa stool. Yan, stool siya para may comfort pag yung nagpapa-Bootspa ka, hindi yung iaangat mo yung paa mo bilang kliyente. So yan, ginagamit yan. Next, it is an electronic gadget used to soothe pain of arthritis, muscle spasm, and dry cracked skin of the hands. So this one, binababa din mga kamay natin dyan. And we call it hand spa machine. Okay, so hand spa machine, tas yung kanina, foot spa machine. Next one is it is the adjustable upholstered seat fitted over a metal or chrome. Yan, ito. Ginagamit naman to ng mga nagbibigay ng nail care service, mga manicurist natin. Okay, so we call it manicurist chair or manicurist stools. Diyan sila umupo. The next one is this one. Yung kabuuan yan is a furniture specially designed for giving manicure. Usually, it has a laminated plastic surface yan, and a drawer kagaya dito, for storing materials. It is often fitted with a ball caster for easily mobility. Okay, so some of this one, meron mga bilog, no, yung mga wheels para mabilis silang mailipat. Pero ito yung example is none. Okay, we call it manicure table. Yan, dyan nagmamanicure. Next one is this one. It's an equipment in a salon used for sterilizing metal implements. So this one is for metal only, like those tools, no, to kill microorganisms. And we call it sterilizer. Okay, sterilizer. Next. So this is the last one. It's a device that can be preset to start or stop something at a given time. So we call it timer. So timer, yan lumalabas on the screen. Okay, so for example, you need to stay, no? Para papatuyuin yung kamay natin for several minutes, so you can use timer. Yan. So later I will post the activity. So if you have any question, you can just PM me, message me, okay, so that I can answer your question. Okay, goodbye.